Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Krall.
I love this show, and my husband and I watch you when we're...
Where's that rock? You still have that rock?
Of course I do.
It's good to have you on the show. I want to ask you, I mean, there's a couple things we can talk to you about. I don't normally do the mommy interview because you have kids and that's great, but you're still working. I mean, you were on the road when you were 7 months pregnant, right?
Yeah. Well, I was here actually doing press for From This Moment On. I felt I had a great pregnancy. I toured through Europe through my whole pregnancy, so my children heard music from a very early age.
Yeah, I've got friends of mine who, when their wives are pregnant or girlfriends are pregnant, they would, you know, put headphones on and play the music.
And I thought about that. You know, you just don't think that maybe you could just play the piano for them.
You could, that's true. I guess you could do that too.
I gotta put headphones on, I do this, and yeah.
Or just go on stage.
Playing every night, right?
I mean, to have a best of album in an artist's career usually is an indication of one or two things. A, they're just trying to get out of a record deal, or B, they legitimately are at a point where there's a lot of material to put out. You know, when you looked at this, did you think now's the time to kind of bring everybody back into my career?
I didn't realize it till I went on tour in June, how kind of liberating it was, because I didn't really have an agenda, I didn't have a personal agenda. So I was able to do shows and just call tunes like you would in any other jazz setting. I mean, I have a set list, but I started incorporating songs I hadn't sung for a long time that were difficult for me to sing after my mother passed away. And I started really enjoying myself more than I have in the past 5 years.
That's what I was wondering.
So I didn't focus on one thing like, okay, now I'm singing happy stuff now. I just made it a big stew of emotional weather report, you know.
Well, that's what I wondered was, you know, was how close you listen to the lyrics when you sing them for the 100th time. Are you still connected to the song?
Yes.
Well, because a lot of that stuff in 2002 with your mother, your mentor passed away, life changed a lot for you.
Yeah, I met Elvis then too.
And you met Elvis.
So it was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Good things and devastating things.
And to revisit all that, is it still work for you on stage when you have to do that?
I'm okay now. I mean, at first I was a bit, you know, people think of these songs as martini drinking, cigarette smoking, shagging, and they are about that. And that's an important part of them.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, this is the thing about jazz, though, because
Here.
shagging.
Well, it's true. Yeah, not necessarily in that order.
No, preferably not.
But you know, let's be real about it. But also, so it's associated with these sort of the romanticism of it, and a lot of these songs for me, especially a song like "Let's Face the Music and Dance," is really a political song. I mean, it was the only song I could sing after 9/11 because of before they asked us to pay the bill. You know, like we're paying the bill for certain things. And so I look at these lyrics differently than just, not only that. So if, for instance, something like, every song I have to be able to get into character and relate to, not necessarily experience, but I can really go to the dark places if I want to, and to the happy place, the happy places, you know, find a happy place. But I like to have more, it's more balanced now.
Which is easier for you, to go to the darker place or the happier place?
Right now I can go to both places. Yeah, I'm in a really good point in my life where I feel comfortable in myself and what I'm doing, and I don't feel like I'm having to prove myself as an artist or a songwriter or this or a jazz musician. I just do whatever comes naturally. I always have, but I think I've been a little bit more like, oh, well, what will such and such think, this jazz critic think? Or I don't really give a shit. You know, I mean, I give a shit about what I do as an artist and feel more comfortable about those decisions than worrying so much about fitting into this place. I'm not really jazz, I'm not really pop, you're just
a singer, aren't you?
I'm Mummy. This is what Mummy does.
That's right. Well, I mean, they dance along. They can clap along to your music now, can't they?
They're starting to clap now, so it's pretty great. I did this, you know, Symphony Hall and Davies Hall in San Francisco, and my little boys now clap. And they're not, you know, we haven't taught them, but it's the best thing that could have ever happened to me, and the most joyful thing. So it's changed. It's made me feel more relaxed, and I would say.
I mean, you're not 21 years old when you have kids, right? You're a woman when you had your kids. Was it a surprise to you? Like, is this something where you thought, I'm going to have these kids and it's going to change me?
I remember Ray Brown said to me, I don't think it's in your cards. I think you have a career and you're focused on your career. But
Ray Brown was one of your mentors,
one of my
right?
mentors, yeah. And having 2 children at this age of my life.
At the same time.
At the same time. You should see me on the plane coming up here yesterday. You know, we're jet lagged. We came in from Oslo Saturday night. I have more energy than I had, even though you probably saw me like, you know, head back drool. We're all drooling, you know. And it's just, it's great, you know, and unfortunately it's still difficult to try to arrange Elvis and our schedules, so we saw each other as a family, you know, for a day and a half, but it's still the best. It's just good. It's better. Yeah.
It's an interesting place because for a lot of couples, they can last much longer when they don't spend as much time together. Because they get a better appreciation for each other when they're apart.
Yeah.
I mean, and I wonder, I mean, kids will just make things so busy for you. Do you even have a chance to...
Yeah, we do.
To keep up with all that?
Yeah.
Whatever that is? I don't mean that.
Yes,
I just
we
assume,
do.
you know?
I guess my sister says I'm kind of a freak of nature, and Elvis and I both have a tremendous amount of energy and enthusiasm and passion for what we do and for our children and each other. So I think it's a better place. I'm not just focused on music, career, or other things. I'm focused on career and my family and getting on the bus at 11 a.m. and how to order macaroni and cheese for 9-month-olds and, you know, like all others, like just how to get there.
Think about it. You're young when you went to Berkeley and you leave
17,
home.
yeah.
17. You spent a lot living. You have a place in New York, right? You live away.
Yeah.
How important is it to you connecting back to Canada? Because I mean, you live in Vancouver as well.
Very important. We just got a home there a little under a year ago, and we spent most of the spring in
Is it the
Vancouver.
kids then?
I don't know. It's just, I think maybe you want to leave. You know, you want to go out and go to New York, and now I live in New York, and I think that I've just learned to appreciate things much more in the last 5 years of being home, maybe 10 years. I've had an apartment in Vancouver for the last 10 years. But the art, you know, I'm very passionate about Haida art, and just being on the west coast of Canada where I'm from, that's what I wrote The Girl in the Other Room, was so much about that. That's when I went back home and went, oh, wow, I want to live here.
And now you can.
And I do.
Of all the songs you get to revisit.
Not enough, though. Yeah.
I guess eventually you'll have a point in your life when perhaps you can just shut her down and come here.
I figured out 5 years before they got to go to school. So, so the wheels on the bus are going round and round and round for about 5 more years, and then it's like time for school.
What's the best song you play from this now that you can revisit all these songs in a different headspace? What's your favorite
What's
one?
on there?
There's a million songs on
Is there?
You have 2 discs on there.
I don't know. They're all kind of nice. It depends. I guess it depends. I like playing all of them. That's why it was so hard. My producer and I had lots of wine trying to figure out this album. It was like the end of the night, we'd be like writing on the tablecloth. Oh, how about this? How about this? I haven't recorded that. Oh, okay, we will record that next month.
That's the best way to make a jazz record.
I'm working on a new album right now at the same time. So I'm going into the studio next month. So my head is full of like new tunes and yeah, that's why we chose them. I just everything. I don't know.
Come back when the record's done. Let's talk about the new one, too.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Diana Krall, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Real pleasure. Thank you. There's the record, the very best of Diana Krall. All right, after the break, director Wes Anderson.